Staff turnover and high absence levels are symptoms of the same underlying problem. Agents getting burned out and dissatisfied with their work, so they start turning up late, having lots of sick days, and eventually leaving. It's a common assumption that call centre attrition and high absence levels are simply a fact of life. There's nothing you can do about them. Actually, I'd like to argue that that's not true. A key role of call centre management is to constantly assess the reasons why people leave, and even more importantly, what makes them stay. Now, a couple of years ago, we conducted a survey to find out exactly why contact centre staff become dissatisfied. The survey showed that people leave because of bad job fit, a stressful working environment, poor compensation, lack of a career path, and lack of recognition. People stayed because of good job fit, empowerment, pride in their work, growth opportunities, and the reward system. Now, some of those things we can't easily control, but there are some things we can control. Let's take a look at some practical tips that make a difference. The first takeaway from the survey is that job fit is the single biggest reason why people leave as well as why they stay, and it trumps salary and compensation. If you can match people to the right job, that's one of the top things you can do to improve long-term retention. That boils down to being completely honest about what agents can expect when you advertise the job and when you interview them. And once they're on board, if an agent's got a natural aptitude or a burning ambition to work in a certain area, maybe sales, you should support them if possible in making the move. You'll also need to get your workforce management right and make sure you've got the right number of people with those different skills in their desks at the right time. The next big reason for turnover is a stressful work environment. And again, let's be honest, the job of a contact center agent can be stressful at times. Customers aren't always polite, and there'll always be queues at peak times. You can't, though, just dismiss that as part of the job. So here's the second tip. Probably the best way to reduce stress and burnout for agents is to manage their workload better. Good planning practice and a good workforce management application will help you reduce stress and burnout by accurately forecasting your workload, the peaks and troughs, and scheduling agents in such a way that supply matches demand as often as possible. Now, that's bound to minimize the occurrence of the sort of understaffing periods that make agents feel overwhelmed, and it adds a higher degree of predictability about working hours, which we know improves agent satisfaction. And don't forget to be deliberate about occupancy levels when calculating staffing requirements. If you aim for 100% occupancy, trying to maximize productivity, burnout is guaranteed. 90% occupancy is much more like it. And a call centre helper survey recently showed that 83% is typical in the UK. My third tip is monitor schedule adherence, but do it with a human touch. Now, that might sound like an oxymoron, but let me explain. I mean, it's obviously crucial to ensure that agents adhere to their schedules, but it's equally important to understand why they don't adhere to their schedules when that happens. There'll be situations like, an extended customer interaction, a long call that overflows into a break. That really can't be avoided. You don't agents terminating calls just to be in adherence with their shifts. But equally, you'll find that there are unavoidable personal circumstances that require breaks from strict adherence. So again, try and tread that right line with adherence monitoring. Fourth and final tip in this video is shift patterns are a very emotive subject. Get them wrong and you'll end up with excessive absence levels and high turnover. Agents love having a say in the scheduling process. So ask them what their ideal shift pattern looks like. Obviously, you can't guarantee anything, but also don't assume that everyone wants to work Monday to Friday 9 to 5. Some people will actually relish the idea of working what used to be called unsociable hours, and still give you good coverage while giving people shifts closer to what they want. And think about giving agents the opportunity to bid for shifts, see what their colleagues' shifts look like, specify their availability, book time off, or swap shifts on a self-service basis are all things that are extremely effective in reducing stress and reducing turnover. So engagement options like that not only reduce absenteeism and attrition, they're going to instill in agents a feeling of being valued and in control of their work-life balance. Empowered agents are more committed and motivated, and that translates into higher productivity, better morale, and reduced turnover and absences in your contact centre.